Hi guys, this is Skim from GosuGamers, and we're here at the ESL 1 in Frankfurt. With me is Aui from Cloud9. Aui, first of all, how are you doing?
Okay, we lost yesterday, but it doesn't feel as bad. Like, it doesn't feel that bad, I guess. We got used to it.
Well, that does kind of sound bad, like getting used to losing, but well. Let's talk a bit about the game, how you lost. Like, I mean, game 1 was kind of, I would say, one-sided, but game 2 was really close. Could you maybe guide us through the decision-making for like the past or the last 10 to 15 minutes?
Well, game 1 first was just an outdraft, I think. Or it was it didn't have to be an outdraft, but as soon as we caught out at level 1, I don't think there was anything that we could really do. Game 2, like our biggest mistake of all was losing that top racks. We got caught out without buyback on one of our heroes, and then we couldn't defend top. So once we lose the racks, like it's really hard versus Wiss and Furion. So we had to play it like we could only move our base once our racks have regen to full and we had glyph, which is like probably every like 5 minutes. That's lucky if it's every 5 minutes. And we tried, and then when we pushed our base, like we weren't thinking enough. Like what we should have done, I think, is like. One, our Void should have TP'd in earlier. If our Void had TP'd in earlier, we could have just rushed the throne. We could have chronoed them in their fountain and rushed it. Our second option was, as we played it, we could have jumped them with either Enigma, Ember, or Void. Killed because their supports were way too far up their other position. We should have sniped them right away. And that would have let because our Potom was the only one who did damage to buildings. And she died before like anything even happened, which is why we couldn't kill the throne. I actually made the bad call to hit the throne. I thought we could kill it. I actually don't think we reacted fast enough to start hitting the throne either. That was sort of bad. I think like if we all started hitting the throne right away, it would have maybe got into like 500, or we would have even killed it if it was like instantly. And we had sort of moved our Void through the Chronosphere to avoid the Hex. But yeah, we just screwed up there. And oh yeah, and I built a Lincoln Sphere instead of a Hex. Like I don't know what the hell that is, but like they're all spread out and I don't have a Hex, so that was pretty game looting as well. And that was our game too.
How did your whole team, like, I mean, obviously you guys were pretty demotivated and stuff, but how did your team handle this loss, like today, for example?
I mean, the only reason that I said it doesn't really feel as bad is because this tournament, it's big. It's actually really huge, but it's like 10 days from a $10 million tournament. So in the grand scheme of things, like, if we lose here and we do well at TI, no one cares what we did here.
You're actually making the segue for me already. I was kind of leading to TI. You guys have had a lengthy bootcamp, I think. Like you've been to DreamHack, and ever since DreamHack, you've bootcamped here in Germany. How's it been? How do you feel? How well prepared do you feel?
I think that we have a lot of problems with bootcamp execution. It's not really like sponsor side; it's our player side. Like we're not experienced with bootcamps, none of us really. So it's hard to like stay focused in a bootcamp. It takes a long time for us to like get up in the morning, and then like we have to deal with food and all that stuff, and we're not used to doing that. Because yeah, I'm not really that big a fan of how our bootcamp has been, I guess.
You guys did, however, you have a coach now that is not Charlie Monolith, and you also have a like in-game coach, I guess, like Clairvoyance. He's also helping out. Aren't they like guiding you through that kind of stuff?
We haven't had our manager with us during the bootcamp, which I think is sort of bad for us. I think it would have been good to have someone there, or we should have moved Claire into more of a manager status, because I think like having a manager making stuff smoother for us would have been more important than having a coach for us, honestly, because our team, we're pretty like thought heavy anyways. Like we'll think about stuff maybe too much anyways, even without a coach. So I don't like. For me, I think manager is more important than coach. Coach still helps, but it's not as much. The coach is really good for like during the actual tournament. Like at DreamHack, I think having a coach helped us.
Yeah. How did it get to that? Like, how did you guys think about the option of actually adding Clairvoyance to your team or to your roster?
I mean, like League of Legends, Dota teams that have gotten coaches. Like DK got a coach, and then they started going ham. Like they really weren't doing very well until they got the coach. And then like League of Legends, like especially Cloud9, they have a sort of reputation of having the best like behind the scenes support for their players, I think. Because like I don't know, I was reading the League of Legends Reddit, and it was like comparing Dignitas and Cloud9 their support side, and Dignitas didn't have a coach or anyone. And then they were talking about how Cloud9 had a coach, a sports psychiatrist, and like a manager and stuff like that to help out the players. And like it just makes everything so much smoother when you have a full support crew behind you. So a lot of it was just Cloud9's idea, I think.
And how did you choose Clairvoyance? Was it just obvious because he's friends with EE, or how did it get together?
I think Clairvoyance is, he has, I mean, like if I had to describe Clairvoyance, he has a lot of ideas. Some of them are really bad, some of them are really good. So if you just take the really good ones, he's really, really smart for Dota, especially. And he's always like, he talks to a lot of the North American players, I guess, like PPD, EE, Pilot I, like he talks to people, and like we knew he would be good as a coach, I guess. He's still pretty inexperienced, I think. I think that if we were to do it over again, I would want him to approach it in a different manner. But I think he's doing his best, and it's working out fairly well.
So TI4 is approaching in barely 2 weeks. What do you think about the tournament format? They changed it pretty much. Like it's not 2 groups anymore. It's really just one best of 1 round robin group stage. How do you feel about that?
I don't like best of 1s. I think they're a shitty format, actually. I think it doesn't express team skill at all, and like it's way too reliant on the draft, and there's no adaptation at all. Because once you set your first draft, you're done for the entire, like your entire series with that team is done. And sometimes like a good team can lose to a much worse team on fluke, and like it doesn't seem like a fair way considering how much the group stages count. Because like sure, I get rewarding first and second place in groups is good, but like the amount they're rewarded compared to the third place team is sort of ridiculous. I think it's overly skewed. So I mean the format it's okay, I guess. It's probably better than last year, but I think like it could still use some improvement. I don't really know what that is, so like it's sort of stupid for me to like criticize like that. So I actually have no idea. But like I don't want like I understand they have a lot of constraints at Key Arena, but like this is a 10 million. Like this is like the accumulation of an entire year, probably like some players their entire career, and like not being able to play on the main stage for over half the teams is sort of shitty.
Yeah, I think so too. Many people seem to think so. I've actually talked to Matt about this as well, and especially about the fact that the first 2 placed got immediately seeded towards the main stage. He actually said that could backfire because they don't get as much practice, because they don't play each other a lot. They get so much pause. How do you think about that?
I don't think it should ever backfire like that. I think that when you're at TI, like if you're watching them and you're trying hard enough, like you should be able to adapt just by watching. Especially like if you're not playing, like every moment you have better be spent like watching them or watching replays or thinking of something. And the thing is like you're using every strategy you have for group stage this year. Like every team will probably use every strategy to have. I don't think anyone, unless they like start off like 10-0, will ever want to save a strategy. So like just by virtue of making it in the top 2 to the next stage, you'll have at least a few pocket strats that you can pull out again, which if you're already so far in the main stage, like having 1 extra pocket strat can like pretty much, I think they're guaranteed like 4th place already or something, right? Yeah. Like it's really ridiculous actually how far they get. But like that could basically be a guaranteed 3rd or 2nd place just by virtue of out-strategizing people. Because like it's really tiring, the schedule that you have to play as. Like if you finish like 8th, you have to play so many games if you want to make it to the next stage, and you're showing everything, and you're too tired to think of stuff actually, so it's hard.
Speaking of, well, the tiring schedule, you guys have been traveling quite a bit. You've been in China like last month. How was the trip overall, considering it was your 2nd one and your 1st one didn't really go that well?
I don't like China. I hate the climate. I don't speak Chinese. Everything sucks. No one speaks English. I think the Chinese food at home is better. But like, the practice I think is really good. The pubs are like multitudes better than North America. Like I played so many pubs in China, and the thing is like you can play support in them, and your team will, like if you play support well, your team will carry you. Like, I'm not even lying, the random pubs that go mid in China are all better at mid than me. So like, and they're just random pubs. They're not even like semi-competitive. They just, like, I go mid and they just crush me. It's actually embarrassing. But anyways, like, when I play support, like, I think I could make like to like 7K just playing support in China. But like I came back to North America, I played 1 support game, I wanted to kill myself. So like, I don't know. Like the training's just way better in China. The tournament was weird because, like honestly, I think we should have beat IG in our first round. Like okay, the first 3 matches, like honestly, they didn't really matter that much because like no matter unless we went 3-0, like we'd have to play a really good team, and like the order in which we play teams, like we didn't think it would have mattered that much. I mean, in retrospect, like obviously I wouldn't want to play IG. They won the tournament, but I think we still should have beat them. We were in a good position against them, I think, for like game 3 or game 1. Game 1 we were in a really good position and we dropped mana boots and we lost. But yeah.
Dropping mana boots seems fairly popular these days. Would you consider going to China again? I mean, it's the second time for the second time, think it's not really that great, except for the tournament maybe, but would you consider going there next year as well?
I think the only way I would want to go to China again is if we have like a dedicated translator or a manager who can like communicate for us. Because the thing is, like when we went the second time, there was no one to translate for us at all actually. Like Helen from... sorry, I actually don't know where she works. She translated a bit for us, but then she went with Alliance. And so they had 2 translators with her and Kelly, and we had nothing. So it was actually just stupid. Like, we couldn't do anything there. And, yeah.
Well, Aui, I know your time schedule is pretty tight here as well, so thank you for the interview. The last part is for you. Any shout-outs?
Oh, yeah. Shout out to my team, Cloud9, and our sponsors, HyperX, Alienware, Air Force Reserves. A special shout out to Logitech for organizing the bootcamp for us, Need for Speed USA, Homejoy, and Sidequick, and Crunchyroll.
Thanks.